Right. We are the Jekyll and Hyde of the football world at the moment. We are two teams rolled into one. We are an away team that is struggling and an home team that is performing well. Our away record is absolutely abysmal. We're fed up with going away and getting beaten easily every time. We've had 12 goals against us this season in 5 games and only won 4. Tells its own story. We're fed up. We've got to put things right. How we do it, we're starting on Wednesday with Millwall. And like all supporters, we live in hope.
It's going to be a very passionate one. Welcome back to where Pilgrims walk. Chris is not happy. Jayden is not happy. And Carl is not happy. Who saw that one coming? Well, if you did, I call you a liar. Welcome back to where Pilgrims walk. It's 20 minutes of Plymouth chat. Let's get straight into it then. Chris, were you one of the 3,500 that travelled to Cardiff? And if you were, do you want your money back?
No, I'm not asking for money back. I'm a supporter. But yes, I was one of those. I didn't leave early either. But I don't want a badge to say that I've stayed the old distance. Supporters have got their right to do what they want. And those who are leaving from half-time onwards, okay, they paid their money and that's their choice. My choice was to stay and bear it out. But it was horrendous. It was a display that we don't really want to see again against a team. Up until then, had only scored 4 goals in 5 games, and all of a sudden they're putting 5 past us in 1.
I had Plymouth to win this, so I'm not very happy with myself. But Carl, was it as bad as the Sheffield Wednesday performance?
Oh yes, and I will keep going back to one particular player, and I'm getting moaned and groaned at for saying it every single time. But when will Wayne Rooney drop Morgan Whittaker from the starting lineup? How much longer is it going to take? How many people can see that he just hasn't got the skill at the moment to take the game to the opponents?
I know somebody who might agree with you. Hello, Jayden.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm one of the people who said Cardiff would win, partly because of the way our form is going. You know, we win 1, we lose 1, we win 1, we lose 1, and it just keeps on going like that at the minute. So hopefully, if it does carry on, then we're going to beat Millwall on Wednesday and actually get an away win. But no, yeah, no one expected it to be like that bad. And yeah, abysmal performance, to be fair, especially the way we've been playing. It's just such a shock. But you know, the away is just not good enough, and we need to do something to fix that. I don't know how we're going to do it.
If we look through your away results, then, so obviously the Sheffield Wednesday one was discounted. It was early on. You drew 1-1 at QPR. You lost in the League Cup away at Watford. You lost to West Brom away. Okay, there's no harm. There's no harm in that. You've lost to Burnley away, only narrowly so, and you made that a really difficult game for them. So are we in danger here of Chris over-egging how bad this is? Because, okay, you haven't won away at home yet, but your fixtures have been unkind, haven't they?
They've been unkind, yeah, I agree. But we've had 2 horrendous performances now with Sheffield Wednesday and Cardiff. We didn't do that bad at Burnley, and we didn't do that bad at West Brom. Lost 1-0, both decent sides, but we should have got something out of it. And the only one that we did perform in was Queen's Park Rangers, and that's the only time we've scored so far. In those 5 games, that's the only 1-4. But the passion and everything that went in that Queen's Park Rangers game, where again we went down to 10 men, was completely missing on Saturday. It was a different side to what I saw at QPR and every other away game I've been.
Okay. Let's have a look at some of the tweets that I found that were some of the better ones and more publishable ones. Carl, Ian says that you constantly gave the ball away. We can't keep possession, silly mistakes and he called the red card ridiculous. I think he meant that it was ridiculous that Sissoko got involved with it. I'll ask you for your opinions in a minute. Holding your hands up is appreciated, Joe. Joe was once again coming out and apologising. He's the only one that does so. But this one hurt today. And I think I could tell a lot of hurt in Plymouth fans' comments. You can all make it right next week, though. And Anthony says, I have never known a team to be so bad away from home for an extended period of time. It really feels like at home park, Plymouth can beat anyone. But away from home, it's a totally different story. Carl, how do you react to what Ian's saying there? Is he right?
100%. I don't know what else I can add to that, apart from I was on the way home on Saturday, just thinking, what have I just saw? I got up early, driven up, spent money on this to watch a horror show, and I'm like, Chris, I respect you for staying to the end, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't see my eyes just see it go down to 5. I left just before it became 4, and I was walking out to the car. It was 5, and that was just like my head was just like, what on earth has happened to our team? But this is where Wayne can earn his big bucks and his big break, maybe.
Yeah, 2 winnable games to put this right, Jayden. Then this week, we're recording this before the Millwall result is known. Then Preston this weekend, who are they're not great. They're a bit like you, Preston. They're great at home, but shocking away. So this will be all right this week, won't it?
I'd expect us to win it, but after that performance, I'm not so sure. But that was away, so if the home form somehow carries on after that, amazingly, then yeah, we'll definitely win. But we'll just have to see, because you just don't know what to expect with these lot anymore.
I found a great tweet, Jayden, that will wind you right up. I didn't know this. Ian Foster won 2 away games out of 5. Did he really?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, thanks for that. Do you know, Mark, we've played 30 championship away matches since we've come in back in the championship since August of 2023. And out of that, we've won 3.
Yeah.
So we've got a 10% record of winning away. 10%, which then puts the onus on us having the pressure to win at home. And that's one of the problems that we got. I'm not going to harp on too much about Cardiff on Saturday, but for the first 15 minutes, we looked okay. Whitaker's put a good ball through to Obafemi. Now, that guy is allegedly a proven goal scorer. He's one-on-one with the keeper. What did he do? He didn't even make the keeper save. He didn't put it on target. He hit it wide. Now, if that one's on target, 1-0 to us, it's a different ball game. But it didn't. And about 5 minutes after that, they went 1-0 up. And then we allowed Ruben Colwell to absolutely boss the game.
It's always disappointing when you lose, but losing 5-0. Carl, the blame, I think, squarely lies for many on Sissoko's shoulders. What did you make of the incident with Perry NG? Was he stupid and naive, or was he unfair to get a red?
I've seen players do it before, but again, it's just you don't need to. You're chasing the game. You're 1-0 down. You've got 11 men. Just stick with it. I mean, all he's done there is just made his team's life much harder. They've all got to pay an extra 10%, which just beggars belief. But again, like I say, it wasn't just Sissoko. And I don't know what you guys think, but when I was watching the stand, I just saw them hitting the ball long on the wings each time, and we just got outrun. Mumba and Edwards just couldn't live with their wingers. I just didn't understand what the game plan was in that aspect.
I think we had our tactics all wrong. We were pushing up so high. We had, as you say, Edwards and Mumba were pushing up as wingers. We had Whitaker doing whatever he wanted to do, which wasn't playing football. But he was going wherever he wanted to go. He was drifting from the right into the left, into the centre. everything was poor. We allowed them so much space on the ball and the park basically, and they were playing at will. And it was like all them Globetrotters. They could do whatever they want when they wanted, and we were that poor.
It shouldn't make a difference, Jayden, but when Wayne Rooney wasn't on the touchline, he hinted at it himself. Maybe it could have been because he wasn't there. But players are professionals, shouldn't they? They should know what role they've got and just get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't help, but it's just one of those things. You got to get on with it, and you should just never lose 5-0, whether your manager's on the touchline or not. It's terrible.
Clearly, there's I think a little bit of underestimating of Cardiff has gone on. Their manager has sorted them out a little bit. So, in fairness to you, they are one unit. They're not the Cardiff that we saw a couple of weeks ago. Adam says pretty much what Chris said. Our fans deserve better from these players. 3.5 or 3.2 away fans, most working all week to earn money to travel the country to watch them, and they put in displays like that. It's not fair. Something needs to change. Gavin suggests that Rooney needs to spend less time on Gary Neville's podcast and more time on the training field. All right, then, what needs to change, Chris? Everyone says we need changes, but come on, you're in charge for Millwall in a couple of days' time. What do you change? Morgan gets dropped, I guess.
Millwall's going to play a long ball game. That's what they're used to. That's what they're up. We should know how Millwall play. Unfortunately we lost 1-0 up there last season, but we know what they're all about. What do we change? We certainly changed an attitude. We certainly changed an energy, and we got to get our basics right, because on Saturday we couldn't pass water, and literally we couldn't find a player to pass to. People were running away from the ball. It was embarrassing. So what did we change? We changed the basics. I would almost, I'll say I'll put in that side again to show the supporters that they are better than what we witnessed on Saturday. But I think there are going to be a few changes. They've got to shake it up somehow.
Quickly, can I just add to that? I don't know, you two gents, what would it take for Wayne Rooney to have a Sir Alex Ferguson hairdryer treatment on them? Or has he already done it, do you feel? Because that can work.
I felt he did it at Sheffield Wednesday. And if I'm right, one of the comments he made after that Sheffield Wednesday game was, I don't care how long you've been here, whether you've been here a short while or whether you've been here a long while. You play like that for me again and you will not play for me. So what does he do? Bottle 7 not for Wednesday, because they were just as bad, if not equally worse, on Saturday than they were against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. It must turn around. Good luck against Plymouth. Sorry, good luck against Preston. Sorry, and Millwall this week. Before we let you go, it is Halloween coming up, so we wanted to ask you all about scary players for Plymouth. Who's the nastiest villain? You know, those sort of players that you've been in the stands thinking, I'm so glad they play for us. Jayden, you're the youngest of the trio here, but in your short time watching Plymouth, can you remember a player where you've thought, yeah, you're a right one, you are?
Scar liked the tackle, didn't he? But I've asked some people, and a lot of people saying Watton, Good Willie, players like that. I don't know what you guys think.
Okay, let's find out. Carl?
Mine's a Sonny Bradley, because he just had that attitude like, I don't care how big or small you are going to get taken out.
And Chris, complete this roundup.
Well, I'm going to go really off the wall, because the nastiest player I've ever seen at Argyle wasn't necessarily on the football pitch. It was what he did off it. We paid £200,000 for, which was a club record at the time, for a player from Port Vale, made him captain. And as soon as he came down, he didn't want to play for us. It was quite evident, and that's Peter Swan. And he joined us in August '94 as Peter Shilton bought him, and he was going to be the jigsaw that took us up. In fact, he was the jigsaw piece that took us down. And in Christmas of that year, I'll tell you how bad he was. He went out on a night out with the players for their Christmas do, and ended up wanting to fight them all. The local paper got wind of it and put it in the Herald, and had an interview with him, and he said, well, I don't like Plymouth. not only does he not like Plymouth Argyle Football Club, but he didn't like Plymouth as a city. So not only he alienated everybody, the fans, the players, his teammates, the club, everyone. He was nasty.
What a brilliant story. How can you not like Plymouth? Goodness me. Crikey. I live near Port Vale, so crikey. If he's comparing those two places, right. Can you beat that? Drop it in the comments below. Next week, of course, we've got 2 games to review. We've got the trip to Millwall and, of course, the home game against Preston as we head into nearly another international break, the final one. And we'll start asking, of course, next week for your October Player of the Month. So get your thinking caps on for that. And we're heading into the January transfer window as well. So let's get our Santa lists ready as to what Plymouth desperately need. Get thinking on all of that. Lots of fun to be had over the next couple of weeks. Please, please, please subscribe if you haven't done already. 20 minutes of Plymouth chat. You can download it on Apple Music or Spotify. We're delighted to be in your company every single week. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Jayden. We'll see you at the other side of the Preston game.